Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today is the last day of 2025. Happy New Year, everybody, because 2026 starts tomorrow. Day one. What's your plan? Wealth creation mandatory. There's no way around it. And what should you do? Number one thing, protection. We're going to talk about this and a whole lot more. And welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. As you can read, nobody. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, please make sure you are sharing the videos. Make sure you let other people know because 2026 is the year of wealth decline in America. That's right. You've heard it here before, and it's going to continue. Things are going to cost more. The price goes up. Your liabilities go up. That means you need something to offset it or reduce it. So what do? I put it on the chat. In the chat, you have how you can reduce your debt without filing bankruptcy, without getting debt collections. You can get in front of it by making sure you do a debt resolution, debt collections. At least you can get it reduced. And after that, you get your credit back to good. You have 1 year where you get 775 credit score mandatory. Why? Because then that will give you 0% interest rates. Credit for up to 36 months is my prediction sometime in the next, not next, I believe in about 6 to 8 months from now. That's what's going to happen. We already have 0% for 24 months. It's going to be 0% for 36. Unheard of, but liquidity is going to be a problem. So it should come out. Therefore, you need to have premium credit. Tracy, TRACY .sharpe with an E at the end at moneyladder.com can help you. So make sure you write it down. I know it's New Year's Eve, but I needed to put this video out. We have much, much more. This is the first start of your wealth creation is to make sure you get your debt in order ASAP, very, very quickly as you can. Now, if you want to do some other things, I suggest if you need help, check out findhelp.org. It's that simple, findhelp.org. All right, Matthew Lesko, you might have seen him on Late Night where he was wears a suit that had the question marks on it and he used to say, I have grants for you, I have grants for you. Well, findhelp.org, you put in your zip code and that tells you all of the services that are generally funded to nonprofits by the state, by the federal government, and therefore they can help you. That's right. Make the phone call. See if they have help for you. And it runs the gamut: job training, mental health, drug health, rehab, health care, caregiving, bus passes, down payments for rent, mortgages. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. If you live in a bigger city, then there's more services available to you. So go to findhelp.org. And if you have a mental health issue, 211.org. And it's also on findhelp.org for mental health as well. So get the help you need because it's hard out here. It's real in the field, ladies and gentlemen. So those are the first things that I wanted you to understand. And again, you will have them in the chat room. And there's a video provided in the chat room. When Tracy was on, she worked for another company. And by the way, she's family. So let her know. Eric told me to call you and say she's part of the SSN Nation, but blood family as well. So again, she's out here trying to help people the way you do it. All right, now let's keep moving, shall we? Because if nobody's coming to save you, that means you're going to have to do it yourself out here, right? In this lifetime. So the other things that needs to get in your toolbox is wealth creation by your own means. Let's get it straight. You can give your money to whoever you want for investing. You can put it in a 401k, get a tax write off. You could also do a solo 401k for yourself and you manage it. But if you don't feel comfortable, okay, then get an ETF or go with Wealthfront. Wealthfront, ladies and gentlemen, they manage money up until you reach $5,000 at 0% fee. Wealthfront. It's almost like if you had JP Morgan or Fidelity or anybody else or a lot of different companies, Schwab managing your money, same kind of thing. They charge an annual fee too. It's usually under 1%. But the point I'm trying to make is you need to do that exactly. You're going to have to make money while you're sleeping. You're going to have to make passive income. There's no way around it. That's how simple and precise this is going to be. You have 1 year left. We've been running a countdown for 2.5 years, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's 1 year from now. You need bank account outside the United States. You need either a business or real estate outside of the United States, or if you're watching from a different country, outside of your country in a different country. This remains the same for nearly 99% of the planet because you are a citizen of a country and therefore you usually have a bank account in the country you reside. You usually have residential properties or whatever other businesses. You also need something outside of your country, outside of their jurisdiction. Just keep that in mind. All right. Now, I get animated, I get excited because we got to talk about this. But let me get to the wealth front situation first because I got to put it in the chat room. And everybody, if you are watching this on mobile, when you do if you're trying to see the comments live, then you need to tap on the first comment and then swipe left, and you will see a message come up if you want to do live chat. If you're watching this in replay, all right? If you're watching it during the live stream right now, then you don't have nothing to worry about because you should see live chat. And if you'd like to participate, you can make comments down below. And in the comments section, I just now added Wealthfront link. Remember what I said, write this down. You can have your solo 401k that you manage yourself. All right. You can put your stocks. You can buy ETFs such as VOO, VOOG, VTI if you're into the techs and into the Magnificent Seven type stocks. Heavy loads on that. Or you can do it via brokerage account. Handle it yourself. But the solo, go check out Fidelity, for instance. I would say TD Ameritrade because they used to be one of the best, but now it's going to be Schwab. But here's another thought process for you. A lot of you are running these LLCs, corporations. How about if your company creates a 401k plan? Because remember, your wife may be employees. So now you can make rules. Your company can say, well, we'll do a 2% match of what's put in. So now you have your solo. You can use income to put in. That's a tax write off. You now can use your business where you can put some in the business 401k for you as an employee. Just saying, something to think about. Contact your tax professional. All right. TD Ameritrade, which is Schwab, Fidelity, Also is very easy for setting up a company LLC brokerage account, just so you understand. All right. Protection. Remember, LLCs have its own EIN numbers. They don't use your social security number. Just remember that your corporation. Okay. And you keep everything separate. Just keep that in mind. All right. Protection, ladies and gentlemen. Protection. That's the thing. All right. Look who's here. Is anybody in the house tonight? Make sure you say something in the chat room. We put in the wealth front. You know what else I'm going to put in here? Because we have to do it, right? In case there's somebody new here and haven't started their stock market investing journey, it's never too late. I'll give you a little story. It's not Friday night, but it's a story night. Nonetheless, there's a lady who was 74 years old. This is around 2008, 2009. All right. So people said, she said, well, I have like a $20,000 or something like this. And people are like, yes, but you're 70, like, I think it was 74. You're like 74 years old. You could possibly pass away in 10 to 15 years. That may not be enough time. Why would you put your money into Apple stock? Okay. She says, well, I have Social Security. I get a little bit of pension, but it's not going to be enough. So I think I need to make some more money or figure out something. I heard Apple's pretty good, so I'm going to buy Apple. Okay. So look at this. I'm going to give you some numbers. Okay. Here's Apple's stock price. I'm going to look it up right now in around 2008, 2009, 2008. $3.05, $3.13. Okay. I'm going to go to 2012 Apple stock price. Okay. $19.82. All right. So you can see where this goes, right? Okay. So I can't remember exactly, but let's just say I'll go to 2008 because I think it was somewhere in there. So she was 74 in 2008. Apple stock that she bought for $3,000 or $3 a share, 320, 330, whatever. 4 years later, it's 19. So that 20, you can already do the 20 times. That's what, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 times the number. That's now 120. All right. 120 in 4 years. Okay. But when did Apple stock split from 2000 to 2024? Okay. I believe they did 2-1 in 2000. I'm looking at it right now. 7-1, ladies and gentlemen. 7-1 in 2014. Now, we're going to have to do mathematics, but I knew she had 120, but when she split 7-1, I don't know what that represents. But now I'll have to do something pretty simple. I'm going to have to basically know the number, right? 20,000 divided by, we'll call it $3.30. She had 6,000 shares, ladies and gentlemen. 7-1. Now she has times 7. She now has 42,424 shares in 2014. But wait, there's more, because August 31st, 2020, 4-1 split. So now times 4 equals 169,696 shares, 0.96. Now, are we going to go look and see how much Apple shares cost right now? Let's go AAPL. What? Oh, $271.86. Is that what we're looking at today? Yes, $271.86, ladies and gentlemen, times 271.86. Ladies and gentlemen, that's $46 million. Okay, 90 years old, millions of dollars, 16 years later. And before the 16 years, she was already a millionaire as soon as 2020 came in 12. This is why wealth creation, you need to make it happen. All right, here we go. Let's go. Joe Nay. He's out there on the island. Happy New Year and welcome to the SSN Nation. Happy New Year, Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Edition. And he brings his tagline now, stop by today. What's good, everybody? You know what's good, man. You're here. You starting off the new year right. And you've already started the wealth creation plan. So I know you're sitting on the island, chilling at the moment, waiting for that midnight to strike in a few hours in the warm confines. So very happy to see you once again, Joe Nay. Very, very happy. You're going to have to give me some updates on some what's been happening out there in your neighborhood. So just to illustrate, ladies and gentlemen, 12 years, the lady was already a multimillionaire based on $20,000 investment. Yes, it's Apple, but that's not exclusive. They're not the only ones that have done splits. Tesla's done splits. Nvidia's done splits. A bunch of corporations have done splits. You have to get in the game. That is the key. So getting in the game, we have to have a brokerage account, right? So use free apps, Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo. Let's see if I can find those real quick. Let's go. Oh yeah, I got to talk about that too. Um, we got to do some smart credit monitoring. I forgot about that as well. But here, if you still haven't downloaded a brokerage account, Robinhood, Webull gives you free shares. Robinhood gives you one free share. Webull, you have to deposit and they'll give you, it could be partial shares or full shares. They always have promotions. It could be 5 free shares. It could be 10. It could be 15 partials. They always have that. But Moomoo also has promotions where they can give you 3 to 5 shares. But again, you got to deposit $100 at Moomoo, and you have to have your account at $100 or more. I should say it doesn't have to be 100. It has to be 100 or more. And you can't withdraw below that 100 within, I believe it was 60 days. That's the whole period. So just so you know, but then you'll get your 5 free shares or 4 free shares or 6 free shares from Moomoo. So get your promotions, show what you need to do. You already know. I'm showing you. Now do it. Get with the program because you are not going to be guaranteed anything. Livable wage jobs, they're being reduced. There's hardly any manufacturing jobs anymore. There are these tech companies that pay a lot of money. They are now having to get rid of those people because employees cost the most. It's easier to get rid of about 10 people who make 150, 200,000 a year and save a few million than it is to figure out how to save millions on something else. So that's why they will fire 500 people, 1,000 people, or layoff. I'll use that word. Okay. But again, that is Wealth Creation 2026. And again, the gear, you can always go to stopstrugglingnow.com, order the gear. Nobody is coming to save you in 2026. So only you can do that. And you have to start buckling down and prepare. I don't know about you, but some people have been getting their insurance bills, healthcare insurance bills. They've been getting notices this past week for their 2024 premiums monthly. There's people who had about a $550 a month ACA insurance, Affordable Care Act insurance bill. It's $2,200 per month. That's what they slated it for if Congress does not sign something today. it's a wrap. Subsidies are no longer going to be for your affordable health care. Uh, that's a problem. And the GOP party, they have the majority, so they could have voted it in to make sure, but they darn sure voted in that the wealthy are getting their tax cut, tax breaks. Uh, so hopefully Congress stepped up and somehow across the aisle, and they got 5 or 6 or 7 GOP members of the House to sign a bill. And then at the Senate, you better hope they get 3 or 4. They have majority there again. But if I don't think all majority is going to vote yay. So again, you're going to need some GOP party members, to 5 to 7 or 8 of them, to go across the aisle after 5 or 6 or 7 don't want to vote yay for this. So it's going to get treacherous out here, because if that goes up, then all insurances go up. Your job, your employers, all of it, all of it. So anything that you contribute for your health care and you say, I don't have ACA, but it's my job, but I got to pay into it. Well, guess what? That same type of thing that I just discussed about the numbers, how their number went 4 times, not 2 times, 4 times the amount pretty much. Can you imagine a business getting a bill like this? Getting a 4 times the number, and you're sitting there going, well, I pay $150 a month. All of a sudden it's 600 that comes out of your paycheck. Or you pay $100 per month, but now it's 400. Just like, congratulations, it's 2026. So you might want to watch the news before midnight and find out if Congress did the right thing and extended the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Okay, this is one way you destroy healthcare. They're doing a great job at doing that. But again, you got to protect yourselves out here, ladies and gentlemen. 2026 wealth creation is going to be harder if your expenses are 3 to 4 times on just one item. Never mind your normal insurance for your cars and house, because when you get those premiums and property tax notices, they're also going to go up. Because remember, this is a trickle up situation. If people work someplace and they have health care and now it goes up, that means the corporation either has to lay people off or they have to charge more for their goods and services. This is economics 101. This is not hard to figure out. That means you are not going to be protected. You could be one of the people that they do lay off. You could be one of the people that says, well, I can't afford 500, 400. I know you're going to say that, because if you're watching this, we already know the numbers. So you can't sit out here and pretend with us. All right. I'm going to keep giving the numbers, because we know 60% of Americans do not have 500 in their bank account. And we know 70% of Americans don't have 1,000 in their bank account. And the sad thing is, that is the 2024 numbers. That's not even the 2025 numbers that everything's went up in the last year. Inflation, everything costs more. So I'm pretty sure it's closer. It's creeped into the 63, 64, 65% don't have it, and 70, 75, because this number doesn't lie. 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck during the month. That's the deal. So what are you going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Last day of the year, check your emails. Oh man, I knew he's going to say something like this. I knew it. I knew it. I should have had this already up. Hopefully I can log in easily. But with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm scaring you a little bit. It should scare you. You've noticed gold and silver went up dramatically. That's because whenever people are worried about an economy, or a lot of economies going down, people start going to safe assets that they know they can actually sell anywhere in the world. Gold, silver, precious metals, the price is the same. So they skyrocket up because China, Brazil, and Japan said, We don't believe in the American economy like we used to. So we're going to sell 12 to 15 to $16 billion worth of bonds and treasuries. So now they take that money or some of it and say, let's go buy some gold and silver because we need to stack this up in case there's some sort of meltdown globally, because America is kind of spearheading this situation. So just keep that in mind while you're out here. So hopefully I got your attention on this New Year's Eve, and it's about to be 2026. How my time has flown by. It goes by fast. And before you know it, it'll be 2027. And this year will be one for the ages. If you are going to start thinking about business, then go to bizbuysell.com. At least you can find the business that's already operational, has profit that you can invest in or buy. Do not try to do this. I do not advise trying to do a startup. Unless, of course, you're one of those, special people that have ability to work with a government and get government contracts and subsidies and things of this nature, and people will donate to your startup. Yes, maybe you might want to do that long road, but again, I would highly recommend go over there to Biz by Sell, and you might want to find somebody that's sitting there saying, well, I'm a little bit older now and I just want to let somebody take over payments and pay me some money while I go sit at home. I'll make a deal with you so I have revenue coming in. It is possible, just so you know. Reason I'm looking down is because I'm trying to log in, because Brian P, Mr. Dividends in the house, and I'm going to have to bring in Mr. Dividend. He'll be doing the salsa dance on Friday because he's the Yomax ETF connoisseur. And welcome to the SSN Nation New Year's Eve Wealthy Live edition. All right, last day of the year. Check out your emails. It's done. So we're going to have a lot to talk about because every time we do this, there's a recall notice. Food, measles. It's ridiculous. People do not want to protect themselves. They want to infect other people. Just because somebody's been vaccinated with something does not mean they cannot catch something. So people run around not getting vaccinated. And now they're involved with people who are vaccinated and other people who are not vaccinated. Some people are dying. Okay. Whether you're vaccinated or not, vaccinations actually, what it is built on, you're building up antibodies in your system. But that doesn't mean that you can't be at the hospital fighting for your life. It just means that you just didn't die sooner. At least you gave your body an opportunity to fight whatever the virus is. And if you have no antibodies because you did not take whatever that vaccine is, then now you could be in jeopardy. Your children could be in jeopardy of dying. All right. Hundreds sue Virginia hospital and executives over unneeded surgeries. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, again, I just have to reiterate because this is just sad because we know what's going to happen. There's a breakdown in the healthcare industry. It's going to get worse. Remember, our, our this administration said nurses, physicians, everybody is no longer a professional job. What that means is if they need to update their studies, which is what you do need to do because there's new procedures that come out, over time, people have to go study those, have to go to school, pay for new knowledge, and it costs a lot of money. And being a professional business, that means they can go down and get financial aid. When you restrict the title of finance of a of that type of professional business status, it's harder to get financial aid. Ask teachers' salaries is a problem. And now the salaries go down. Now you have less people that care because now they're not having livable wage jobs. They're overworked, underpaid, and if they want to learn the new medical procedures, they need to go study. Now all of a sudden, it costs them money. So again, we're putting our citizens at risk for nonsense and not even needed to do. All right. Now we have 100 Sue Virginia hot. See, this is what I'm saying. Don't worry. The person will be pardoned 2 years from now. All right. More than 500 women claim they had received unnecessary surgeries. It's in the New York Times, unfortunately. See subscription on. I can't see anymore. I didn't read it fast enough. But again, this is no shocker. We already know the healthcare industry is going to be in trouble. It was always people scamming because of Medicare, Medicaid. They pay these people and they could always put in fraudulent claims. So they have been getting pardoned, those people that have done it already. Trump has pardoned about 5 to 10 people who did Medicare and Medicaid fraud in the hundreds of millions of dollars. All right. Rick Scott is sitting in Congress right now, the governor of Florida at one time. He had the largest Medicare, Medicaid fraud in the history at 1.7, $1.8 billion. He did not go to jail, just so you know, and he's sitting in Congress right now. All right. 700 credit data breach exposes 5.8 million people's social security numbers. Ooh, this keeps going and going. This just keeps going and going, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, speaking of your identity, you might want to get smart credit monitoring systems because you want to build credit, right? You're going to have to do that as well because, again, we need you at 775. If you're not at 775 or higher, you got to get there. All right? Take your time. You still have a whole year to get there. So just make sure you get smart credit monitoring. It's one of the best monitoring systems. They have specials. Just use the SSN Nation code, okay? You can possibly get it if they still have it up where it's only $1 or $2 a month for like 3-4 months. So you can go see what's going on because they have your FICO score, your insurance score, your hiring index score. They have all of that. And they have identity fraud protection for everyone that has the same address as you on their credit file in your house. Just remember that. That comes in handy. What is that potentially worth now that you know 5.8 million people just now had a data breach, credit breach? First of all, protecting yourself is going to be a very, very hard task. Very hard task. The link is in the chat room. Once again, if you watch this on replay, hit the comment section, swipe through. All right. Now, I can't put that in there, so we'll take that out. Oh man. All right. Let me see what. Oh, here we go. Tyson. Oh, food shuttering massive beef processing plant in Nebraska. Oh, Nebraska's getting another hit. First, their farmers were going bankrupt. No orders. They get 12 billion, part of the $12 billion farmers bailout money from a broke country. That means you know who's paying for it, you American citizens. Um, Again, the food supply now is dwindling, and I won't get into it tonight. It's New Year's. But we may have people that have never watched this channel. Acre Trader buys farmland. That is J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, and friends, who actually, by design, by doing the tariffs, by default and by design, farmers now do not have business that they used to have, and they're going out of business, filing bankruptcy, losing their farms. And members in our government, people that get government contracts, billions of dollars, or not billions, millions of dollars, are able to use taxpayer money to go buy farmland from farmers that lost business based on their policy decisions for tariffs against China. And other countries, by the way. It's not just China, other countries. So they said, forget that. We'll just buy from South America. They're cheaper anyhow. And they're friendly. So now we're going to have a food problem. You can see food prices are going to continue to rise, right? But the problem is transportation is also being hit. There's less boats coming to the ports, less trucks needed, less trucks, less truckers, less business, less food orders. All of a sudden, transportation is going to cost a lot more because people are going to like, I'm not going to come. I can't get a load back. Now, transportation cost is going to rise. Insurance for them is going to rise. So again, that directly comes to your doorstep. Tyson Food cutting shifts. Here it is. I'm putting it in the chat room so everybody can just get this. There's no excuses for people not to be knowledgeable on what's going down. Good luck, Americans. This is very, very bad. This is why day one starts tomorrow. It's a holiday in most locations, unless you're a service provider. Generally, it's not. You're going to have a shift. Tyson will close one plant and cut shifts at another. What that means for your beef prices in one small town. What town is it? Oh man, oh man. Beef processors are running at lower capacity as the U.S. cattle herd size is the smallest it's been since the 1950s. Oh my goodness. Lexington, Nebraska. And scale back to one shift at the factory in Amarillo, Texas. The company said the move was necessary to right-size its beef business. The closure and cutbacks will eliminate about 7% to 9% of total beef processing capacity nationwide, which also means the price of beef is about to go up. Ladies and gentlemen, you shouldn't be really eating beef in the first place. Just so you know, your body, it goes through convulsions trying to process it. It's hard on your body. And there's other damages that come from that as well. But David Anderson, a livestock economist at Texas A&M University, doesn't anticipate that it will have large impacts on prices producers get for their cattle or how much consumers pay for beef at the grocery store. Note to self, I would not be taking economic advice at Texas A&M from David Anderson. So since when does a smaller supply equals lower prices? What economic class is he teaching? I mean, this is like asinine. Did he actually say this? This is not in quotes. It's not in quotes. He better not have said no craziness like this. This is crazy. He should be calling up going, hey, Wisconsin Public Radio, this, I didn't say this. There is no time in history that a reduction in supply means prices go down or prices stay stable. And this is the lowest number of cattle since 1950. And you can't even process hardly anything. I mean, come on now. This is craziness right here. Of course, prices are going to go up. How else are they going to pay for what's left of all the damage? This is also based on Trump policies that has affected the cattle business. And then they had nerve to talk about, oh, we'll bring some cattle in from another country. I mean, this is just crazy. All right. In 2025, the U.S. recorded its smallest beef cattle herd in more than 70 years, and meat packers are losing money as they operate well below capacity. See what I tell you? There's fallouts. So now the meat packers, less well below capacity. That means less trucks coming to transport their stuff. That means transportation companies are going to be going out of business. Do you guys understand how this works? It's a domino effect. You can't see it, but it's happening right underneath your feet. This is why you need to prepare for yourself. You're going to have to protect yourself by being able to figure out, what am I going to be able to do that has nothing to do with what's going on in these type of industries. Remember, your grocery store has a slim margin. Just people think grocery stores have a huge margin. They do not. The end product does not. All right. They're barely surviving. They have a spoilage situation. They have dates. If they can't sell something by a date, they have to throw it out. They don't get to keep it there until sold. So that's what one of the problems is. Okay, so if you think beef guys are having a problem, pork producers struggle with reduced processing and low prices because people say, well, I go over and see the beef. That's outrageous. I see the pork. That's outrageous. Let me just forget about that altogether. Is there some other alternatives? And that's what starts happening because when you go to a store and you see some steak that's only like 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds in it, and it says $45 on it, you're sitting there like, what is this? This isn't even special. That starts getting people a little worried and they're acting accordingly now. You need to act accordingly. All of that money you need to put towards passive income for you. That means stock market investing. If you want to do like I said, the Vanguard group, fine. If you want to do whoever you want to do, if you want to do Schwab group, I don't really care. SCHD, if you want to do Coca-Cola and Pepsi, I don't really care. At least they give dividends of 2 or 3%. That's not going to cover your inflation, but nonetheless, at least the price goes up and you get dividends. So, I mean, there's opportunities. If you want something else, JEPQ, JEPI, and I always like when the Federal Reserve reduces rates. I love real estate investment trust because they get to reinvest at a lower interest rate. So now they can keep paying out nice dividends, 17%. What was that CLM the other day? C as in Charles, L as in Larry, M as in Mary, 17.7% from their stock price of $8.50. That's incredible. Then I go ARR, ORC, PS, EC, just to name a few. IVR, hella volatile. Check them out, but that should be around 15%. AGNC is going to be around 13%. A lot, ladies and gentlemen, is out here. Okay. Yield Max ETF, Pelletier, PLTY is what they use. Pelletier stock is PLTR. What they do at Yield Max ETF, they actually do options for that stock. They're a favored government stock. Just when I told you about Acre Traders, Peter Thiel, that's his company. So he gets government contracts, he gets subsidies, and he helps the surveillance state. He's down with the surveillance state. So whenever you go anywhere, cameras, information, all of your information is being bought, sold, and put together, correlated, all wrapped up. So all they do is they need your ID. You get stopped anywhere, you fly anywhere, they can pull up all of your stuff. And some people don't recognize what that means. Let me ask you something right now. If I pull you over and I can tap a few keys and it tells me, okay, first, does the person have a warrant? Is there any arrest? Is whatever? Let's just say that's a no. But it should alarm you that the police, when they pull you over, why do you think sometimes they're sitting back there for 5, 10 minutes? Because they may have the system. They can look up your bank account. They can start looking through your social media. And they might just be one of those bad cops who's going to mess with you because there's something that he didn't like that he saw that you were talking about or friends of or whatever, and may find out you might be one of these people, 70% of the population that doesn't have $1,000 in their bank account. So now I can violate your rights because you're not going to sue me because you don't have no money. Think about that. Surveillance state is here. It's already here. So if you want to protect yourself, now you understand why I say make sure you have bank accounts outside the United States, property, real estate, or real estate, or something outside the US. And you need a bank account outside the US. All right? Just think about that because we're going to get around to it. I'm going to keep talking about this for all year because we have a crypto Visa debit card that's in Mexico City. So therefore, it won't be in the Pelletier system, but you could have money sitting outside the United States. It won't be in the Pelletier system because you have money in a different country as well. That should scare almost every American, because just because you think you're not the bad guy, just remember this country, you should look up how many people are getting, US citizens are getting detained, thrown in the concentration camps, and they're presenting these people with a real ID, their passports, and they're telling them they're fake according to us. You're coming. You think it can't happen to you because you're a US citizen. Well, guess what? It's too late, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening right as we speak. So again, protect yourself. That's what you're going to need to do. MDA 0214, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Happy New Year live edition. And he says a lot of different strategies. You are right. One YouTuber killing it with average 3% in dividends. That 3% is a lot with a certain size account plus the equity growth. Exactly. That's why I mentioned it, because Pepsi, Coca-Cola has that 2 or 3%, but their price continues to go up as they are a worldwide conglomerate. And so, therefore, I agree with you, because once a person has a large size, then he doesn't care. Because, again, there's people out here that can never spend the money they have. I mean, if somebody even had like $20 million, people can spend it, obviously, because you can buy a $2 million house, you can buy $1 million car, you can do all kind of crazy, buy your mom's house and do all this. You can spend 15, 20 mil. But the point is, you have a large percentage of people, I shouldn't say a large, but let's just say 50 million people that do have $20 million or more, right? So those people, they could put something in 3%, because at that point, even if they said, well, let me take 5 million and put it at 3% a year on 5 million, what is that? 150 G's. And most people, is that right? Is that, hold on, let me check. Let me check this real quick. Let me check my numbers. Let me make sure I'm giving accurate. Times 3%. Let's see what it is. Yeah, 150,000. So this might be pocket change. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, once you bought your house, and then your house cost you, it's like you bought the $2 million pad, let's say, and then you said, all right, well, my everything cost me about 5 G's a month, 7 G's a month. So then you go, okay, well, since I got this 3%, no big deal. 7 G's a month, all my stuff's paid. Then I just got to buy groceries and I'll pay electricity or whatever. But still, if you got your houses done and you use that money, now you still don't have to use any more money. Money's still sitting there, so you're not going to care. And you have appreciation, as MDA 0214 has mentioned. So the stock price still goes up. So you get the free ride of the 150 and up per year potentially. And then your initial investment, let's just call it 5 million. It could be 5,600,000 next year. I mean, plus you're still getting the 150. So that's how you build wealth. Very good. Very well said, MDA 0214. That's exactly what the big boys do. Just why everybody goes, well, why would they buy 4% treasuries? Because if you have enough money, you're not going to park it pretty much hardly any other places, right? So you're not going to leave it in the bank to get the whatever it is now, 2.1, 2.9, whatever it is. You'll say, well, I'd rather have some upside if I'm going to get 2.8, 2.9, or 2%. How did this happen? Just a minute. Hold on. What was that? Okay.
Come on, come on.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little technical difficulty around here. If my voice sounds different, there's a reason, because it's running off of a different mic. Oh, looks like we checked back in. Good. We had some connection issues. I slapped some wires around. So anyhow, that's why it went dead. Now I figured out what's happening. I actually tapped some wires this time. I was wondering why my mic would go out. Now I found out why. All right, here we go. MDA0214. I'm waiting for KO and PM to split so I can put a lot of money in them. Look at their charts. They haven't had many bad years. No, they haven't. I agree with you. 100%. 100%. Hold on a second. Is there a plan? Let's see. Is there a plan for the split? 10-for-1 stock split on May 27, 2025. Oh, I missed that. No official plans. The last split was 2012. But the point to be made is that is the point, because this is what they do. And over, like they did one 2012, 13 years later. So that means they'll probably do one 2030, 2032. It'll probably, because things are going to cost way more, so they'll make more revenue, so they're going to split. I would bet 6, 7, 30, 32, 30, 33, somewhere in there, I would guess. But that doesn't really matter, because a split just means it's the value, just a smaller amount. Let's see. PM, Philip Morris, has not announced any future stock splits. Their last one was 2008, so they're overdue. Just so everybody understands. All right. They're well overdue. And actually they've morphed into something that's very interesting. Quarterly dividend is $1.47. It's nothing to sneeze at. 3.67. But the point is, we have, they're able to buy stock. So here's what we're talking about. 5 years ago, just so people understand, their stock price was $82. We'll call it 83 because it was 82.79 5 years ago to this day. Now it's $160. So it's doubled in 5 years, but it's still doubled. And you probably you might have a dividend higher than 3.67% to boot. So you got the appreciation and you got the dividend. And a lot of people that have money, this makes sense. A lot of people say, well, I don't have that much money, but I'm going to tell you, it does not matter. It makes sense if you get appreciation. So there's something with appreciation of stocks that is a wealth creation plan. He's hit it on the head. So therefore, you have to play the game. The stock market's not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. The rich dudes are going to keep this casino rolling. All right, no plans, but KO usually don't stay high long. Around 70, they usually split. Now PM, they might not split, so I'll buy. Yeah, KM's not gonna. They might not, but it does not matter. Even at the 160 price point, they're giving out 3.67. It used to be 5 years ago. It used to be like 7 or 8 at the time. It was a whole different ball game. And that we were talking about in 24 years ago. Well, almost 5 now. But again, people, this is what just like Chipotle we used to talk about, right? Same things, off the charts from where they started. So that was a hot one to watch. Let's see what they're looking like these days. It's down to 37. No dividends, though. That's the deal. No dividends. They did their stock split too. But it ends up being where because we're going to have this global problem, their stock price is back down, I guess, as I should say, from almost double, like a year, 2 years back. So you should have bailed when it was crazy number. Like, I can't remember. It was like $1,000 or something. It was crazy. Um, it was crazy. 50-1 stock split. There you go. It was crazy. It went over $3,000, ladies and gentlemen. There was no reason to sit there and stay there and play around. Take them profits and run. Or maybe you stayed in it. Gino Shimiente, if you're out there, let me know. All right, here we go. Now, we all know where this goes. We're talking about stocks. We're talking about dividends. We're talking about investment. We're talking about appreciation of stock. You have to be in the stock market game. Therefore, by the way, MDA0214, I did a short little trade at the end of the day, and it was like $147 and some change, 35 cents or something of that nature. And it was less than like 5 minutes because I was looking at gold USD, XAU USD. And so I was like, well, I don't know. It's like it was around 3 o'clock ish or somewhere like that. And I'm like, I don't really want to do anything at the end of the day. But then it was out of balance for the market. And I was like, oh, okay, I see a little opportunity. I'll just play around here real quick so I can just prove my point because, I'm very confident that I'll be able to make this happen. I said, let's let me just do it on the fly. So I just made a nice move up on a buy and got enough pips. And so I was like happy with 100 and like I said, $140 or I actually know what it was. It was $147 and like 55 cents is actually the real number. So, but it took less than a few minutes because that's how far the market moved up that fast because it did hit bottom for the session for the last 2 hours or whatever. Then all of a sudden it climbed pretty fast because all the sellers were already bailed when it started going back up. They were like, I'm out. And so I sat there for a few minutes and took the little profits. I could have waited like another 10 and probably made more, but I was like, I just want to see. I'm fine. I didn't really want to do anything because I was like, I'm getting ready to do some stuff. So I was like, but nonetheless, got to have some fun. So another good day. All right. So we're on track. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, I'll be actually doing some trading. So we'll be talking about on Friday night. Now, I made a video tonight, but it's not out. And I don't think it's going to be out. But I'm talking about what I've been talking about. We talked about stock market, we're talking about trading as well. We want you to invest, okay? Trading is hard. It took me 3 months, lots of studying, and I feel very confident in my skill set in only 3 months. But again, in my brain works differently. I'm looking for things that can help me improve, and I didn't know they existed. Indicators I'm looking for. I'm like, man, if I can figure out the volume, that would help me greatly. And then when I found out they actually have it, I was like, oh, this is like the last piece of the puzzle that I can actually use with the skill set that I have presently. Never mind, I'm not even seasoned at this. Imagine what would happen after another 3 months from now. Because studying continues, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be the best, you got to study, you got to do it. You can't sit on the sidelines and watch the parade go by. So with that said, again, I'm just going to tell you guys what I'm doing. You don't have to do it. You can go with your brokerage account for trading if you're planning on stock trading, whether you're doing whatever, Forex, you're doing futures, you want to do metals, it does not matter. The point is, I have to set up everything according to plan. So first plan first. I always say this. The Candlestick Bible is only you should study. That's all I'm going to say. For me, it helped out greatly because I was at zero. I didn't know I knew what going up meant and going down, but I didn't know how to make money from it, is the point. And I didn't realize there was a pattern until I was studying the gold bot just off before I got the Bible after the first, what, 2 to 3 weeks. I was just noticing off the top of my head. I was like, wait a minute, there's patterns. Let me see if this happened. But at that point, it was, let me see what happens after this. And then I would have to sit here and watch the charts, right? I would say, oh, yeah, this is what, there's a pattern that happens. Not every time, but it happens at a pretty high rate. So I'm sitting there like, and then somebody says, Darcy says, hey, I got this candlestick Bible, trading Bible for you in PDF form. I'll send it to you. So then when I started studying, I was like, I'll be damned. I've seen some of these patterns before. I didn't know there was names for them. So that's how virgin I was at this. So then I understood there's names for them, but then I'm reading this candlestick Bible is 168 pages. I'm still only at 110 or something. But now I found some other things that I can use. So I'm like, okay, I'll get to that. But hey, tomorrow I'll get to it. All right. I have nothing better to do. No trading tomorrow. But the point is, then I started saying, well, wait a minute. That means it's not based on just gold. I could I could do this on other Bitcoin USD, Euro USD, USD JPY. I mean, futures. Are we serious right now? So once I realized that nobody can stop you either, well, nobody can stop you from doing it, is what I'm trying to say. But I have other things going on in my head. They can always stop you if they jack your brokerage account or broker account, right? But the point is, you need a broker account, you can get one. I'm just saying I use offshore, not, not in regulation by the United States, not in purview of these guys. So I use CoinEx. So if you want to get a demo account with CoinEx, which they do have, you can always upload your demo account money. So if there's no such thing as blowing a demo account. All right, going to zero is no problem. You can test stuff. You can do everything you want. Get your feet wet if you're not familiar. You can study online. There's all kind of things that you can do. So, and there is one other thing, because I was doing what you're about to see on the screen, the Autobot. And again, if you want automation, that's fine. But I'm just going to tell you right now, I started off with it and it started good because it was based on their algorithm is based on, to me, trending down or level made money. So we'd cut it on overnight, go to sleep, wake up, profit. First time it was like 1,000 something. Another time it's 800. Another time it's 300. It was going great until the stock market all of a sudden went poof. Woke up in the morning, stock market was way up from where it was before, but yet the account was down to like $200, $300, $400. Losing after the stock market goes up a significant amount too. Was one of those days. And that's when I was like, holy smoke, what's happening here? This is crazy. I thought if it goes up, that's a good thing. And because we went to bed at night and left it running all night, we didn't recognize what it did, nor did I know about candles, nor did I know anything about trading. So therefore, I couldn't decipher what happened. But once I started reading the Candlestick Bible, then I realized the thing stays within a certain level because it does a buy, sell, it does hedging. And then when there's a little breakout of some sort, it can actually sell and then buy and do whatever it needs to do so you can make money. I didn't realize a somewhat of a bouncy market was better than one going up. I didn't know that because I didn't know how to read candles. So once I did, it was too late because I actually put the cart before the horse. If somebody would have told me from the get-go, hey, do this, then I would have paid attention to what that buy and sell Autobot's doing. So if you want to do Autobots, it does gold, that's fine. It costs $1,000 for 1 year. If you want the Autobot, it costs $2,500. But just keep in mind, I've experimented with this thing and I've been doing my other testing. That's why it's taken me long. But my other testing, I was like, let me see what happens when the market just goes up a little in either direction. What happens? So what I found out, when it goes up a little and a little uptick, we're talking about like let's say it's a 40, I can't remember what it was just a few days ago. It was 4,400, 4,300, some 43 something. Let's call it 4,330. That's today. So it was a little more. It was probably 4,370, somewhere in that range. And it dropped from like 4,410 or something. And so it started doing this consolidation thing. So I said, but it's trending down. But it doesn't really matter, just a consolidation. So I said, let's see what happens. Either way it goes, I should be good. Guess what? It went up a little, not this all of a sudden going up from 43 to, you know, 200 ticks, 200 pips, whatever, going up. It actually just went up gradually. I look down, the thing starts ticking upward, making money. I was like, okay, this is what I expected. And if it would have went down just gradually, the same thing would have happened. And I was like, wow, that moved pretty fast. It was like 1,500, 1,200, just like that. But I don't want to use it when I know it's going to go up or it's going to go down significantly, because I know what happens when you set that. Because once you set it, it does so many trades within like a minute. That's what the bot is for, because it puts in, I don't even know how many trades. I never counted, but it seems like it's like 75 to 100 at least within a minute. It's fast. So that's why there could be movement even at a zero point zero 0.01 number, because there's so many trades that it implements. And then you have to close it out, of course. But nonetheless, just giving you guys an idea. There it is. If you want the gold bot, it's 2,500 lifetime. I have a lifetime, so that's why I'm like, I'm stuck with it. So I might as well figure out a way to utilize it if the opportunity arises. Keep that in mind. So let's go. I put some CoinX is in there, so you can check that out. If you ask for a referral, yes, my name is Eric B. It's Bird, BYRD. So if you want to get the Autobot, you can do it, but I highly suggest, if you don't know how to trade or do anything and don't want to, you're going to have to test it, because they have a demo at CoinX, and every other trader, they have demo accounts. So you should test it. All right. That's the first thing that you need to do. And if you know how to read the Candlestick Bible, then you should be good. You can go to stopstrugglingnow.com to also get it. At the upper menu, when you get to Stop Struggling Now, on the menu at the top, the text menu, it says Candlestick Trading Bible. Okay, you can get the PDF from there. It's that simple. We got to make it easy for you. Now, the last part of the equation is, since I upload crypto to CoinX, okay, through regulated channels, trackables, when it goes to CoinX, they're not trackable by the United States. So therefore, when I send it to my Bancus card, and my Bancus card apparently has been shipped, by the way, because when I went to the Bancus app and I was showing, the video is going to come out after this. I already made it. And when I went into the back office, the message that comes up that says, we'll let you know when your card is going to be ready, that message didn't come up. And so therefore, that means my card must be either on its way to be shipped, because it should be, this is 2 weeks. And it takes 2 to 3 weeks for USA. So it should be here in about a week to 10 days. And so I'll have the plastic one, which is a tap, which costs $45. So this is why, since I'm going to get in the trading game, I'm going to use crypto to upload, and I'm going to download crypto directly into my card. And it's a Visa debit card. And I'm good with that, because I can pay bills, I can have it. And again, it's outside the USA, it's in Mexico. So again, it can be used worldwide, anywhere a Visa goes, ATMs. The only thing you can't do right now is banks. Well, American banks, because they want your name on the card. A blank card, they're not good with that. You're like, nah, I need to put in your info. We need to report to the government. Again, I'm not an aficionado of reporting to the government. All right. Let's just put it that way. We're already in the system. You have your Social Security, you have your passports, you have your bank accounts, you have your LLCs, you have corporations, you have things like that. So you're already trackable. But I don't need them guys to keep tracking me. All right. They can have that. So again, I'm going to just tell you guys, one of these days you could wake up in your passport and you're going to use your passport and they say your passport doesn't work no more. Just think about that, and think about your ATM cards don't work anymore. I mean, this could happen. All right. We still got some pain to go. All right. So anyhow, here's the Bancus links. If you want to find out more, I would suggest you order the card so you can get a digital. A bonus is a digital card. I do not know what the digital card is. You can also make money from this by referring other people. That's why they give you a link. All right. Every time they upload, you get like 1 or 2% of whatever they upload, because there's a 4% fee when you upload, which is kind of pricey. But if you want the cost of real freedom, I'm willing to gamble with that. I don't really care about the 4%, quite frankly. Like I said, I've lost more money to the government by stealing my stuff than anybody will ever know. All right. I've told you guys some of the stories already. And we're talking about in today's money, we're talking about like $2 million. All right. And if I really start thinking about it, there's other things on that. That's just property stuff and real estate transactions and things like that. That's not even bank account stuff. So this is crazy stuff. And then we're not talking about that fraud crap either. So this is crazy. So that's why I don't trust the government. Because when you're like an up and coming superstar and kicking the ass, they change the rules, and then they try to make sure that they talk bad about you, make sure they try to influence your situation. People don't know where they live. I know where I live. So anyhow, the bank is information on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but not tomorrow. They're going to have information that you can watch in the Zoom calls, 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys do that, but order the Bancus card today. In fact, let me go do this. Here, I'll just, you know what? I forgot I have some other things. Do I still have it up? I don't think so. No, I don't have it up. No, I don't have it up. Oh, where's the, oh, here we go. I do have share media. All right, I'll pull some stuff up then. I'll do this. Where's the pictures? Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey. Here we go. You know what? I'll take some time out to make this interesting. Okay, we'll do this first. We'll do this first then. Here you go. This is not the card. This is just an image. I don't know if this is what the card's going to look like or whatever, but this is everybody who orders the card. You get this free digital card. I don't even know what the digital card does. They're telling me it's going to do something down the line because this is new. But they're putting you in line. If you already are a Bancus card holder and order it, then you're good. It's $35 for the plastic card, $10 for shipping. But in the back office, they finally changed it to where it's $45. That includes shipping to wherever you're at. Okay, doesn't matter what country you're in. And also, that's for the plastic card that has the tap feature. The metal card, no tap, but it's a metal card. That's $85. They like to have perks for these people that buy the metal card, but I'm like, I don't really care about that. I just want the card to work. And they already work. So this brings in, what am I going to do? What was I going to do? Let me see. Don't I have it somewhere? Okay, I don't have it. Okay. Well, then we'll do it this way. Let me see. I'm going to get this off the screen here. I can't do it that way. Share screen, share media. Okay. We're going to go get some more media. We got a 2-minute video. It's going to be in the video. I think I can show it. Let me see. I've never tried this. We're on, though. Oh, we can try it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. It's got a black.
Okay, I just entered my Bancus card in the machine.
How cool is that?
And it's asking me if I want English or Spanish. I'm choosing English. Then I'm gonna put in my number.
This is about 2 minutes though. This is in
Confirming.
Jamaica, of all places.
After me
Yeah,
get
it's
cash,
worldwide,
I
ladies and
select
gentlemen. The
get
Visa
cash.
logo, and you have a PIN number, just like a debit card. And
Ask me
again, this is a
if I
money
need
making
US
network
dollars
event here as well. If you share your link and
or
other
Jamaican
people like it,
dollars.
then you
I'm
get
gonna
paid on the
choose Jamaican
uploads
dollars this
a
time.
little percentage, and you get paid a little small percentage on
Putting in the amount,
the orders
I'm
that
gonna
come.
put $10,000.
So, what can you say?
And I'm confirming the 10,000. Ask me if I need it large or it, so I'm just gonna withdraw that amount. It can either be saving or checking, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna select checking. Send that the fee is 35 US cents. I'm okay. If I need a receipt, I said yes. Waiting on the cash, waiting. Right, it pushed out my card. I'm now waiting on the money. Push out my money. It's also push out the receipt. And it is $10,000. Right? Thank you very much.
All right, not bad, not bad. Okay, and I'm only going to show this one other thing because, like I said, I'm going to have a video come out before midnight. Here we go. Offices. This is kind of fast though. This is fast.
De la oficina de Bancus aquí, en la que estamos. Esta es la oficina. Y aquí en este momento estamos trabajando. Mr. Alejandro preparando el Zoom para el lunes. Primero Dios, a ver cómo nos va.
All right. And then I'm going to do one more because this is the person that does the live streams on, or the Zoom calls on Tuesday and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern. The password is also down below in the description box in case you see this on replay. So check this out.
We're here at the Bancus corporate office in Mexico City. It is amazing to see what we have. Mr. Alejandro, Mr. Charlie's here, staff is here, and as you can see, it's an incredible space. We have an amazing opportunity here to scale and build and grow 2026, unlimited potential. Here, of course, we have Bancus, Bank Us. So I invite you all to come soon, to come visit the corporate office at our next launch and event.
Okay. Make comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Lastly, what else do we have to discuss? Trust. Protection of your assets. It's mandatory. You're going to have to do it. So a lot of people have revocable trust. Now, a revocable trust still means that you're liable in case of lawsuits, in case of anything. They can come and still get your assets. Because what some people do is they have a revocable trust while they're living, which means you still control it. So that means that's your personal estate. So therefore, if something happens, people can try and attack it and sue you and try to extract money from you. Then you have the irrevocable trust. The irrevocable trust is different altogether. Once you put it in the trust, it's no longer yours. Somebody else is a trustee. They control the trust, but you make the rules in your trust on what somebody can do. But again, you better trust those people because a trustee can oftentimes do what they want. So that is the risk you take by doing a trust. Or you can give it to one of the law firms, which will cost you money, which means your trust needs to generate money. Now, a trust pays 37% tax. That's right. It's crazy. But the point is, you're not supposed to keep the money. You're supposed to give it out to the beneficiaries. Just saying. Not supposed to. It just depends on how you wrote your trust. But all assets, it could even be brokerage accounts, maybe in a separate one. But nonetheless, you can do a lot of things that protects you, keeps everything in the family and your beneficiaries and your lineage if you have enough money to put into the where it would pass down generations to generations. It is possible. All right. Then you have to have a succession on who's going to be trustee if case of whoever you started with passes away. Do you have to have a succession plan? Or you can actually have a law firm, like I said, or trustee company. They'll take a percentage, obviously, for the annual management of it, because there are tax forms that need to be filled out as well. But just keep all of that in mind. So how you can get a template or figure out a little thing, just go to Chat GPT and start. You get 5 free questions. Ask them about creating a trust in your state, irrevocable, and make sure it meets federal and state of where you live laws. And then get some sort of form. Just start slowly trying to form it. It'll do it for you. All right. And then you can see an estate planner with your plan, because you're saying, I'm going to put this stuff in here. And then you'll have it already formed, damn near ready to go. So therefore, you don't have to pay maybe 5-10 grand to get it done, or more, depending on your asset levels. So again, that's another way to go. You're going to need protection. Keep in mind, protection is key. Think about something. Right now, we have something in Minnesota that they're trying to blame Somali immigrants, when Amy Buck is the person that was running the scam, obviously is a white person. They were running it based on another person. So you got to have a right-hand man. But now they're out there going into making threats and telling people, well, we'll give you this money if you give us that money, fraudulently doing things to this community. Why would you do something to a marginalized community? Because, one, I can control people who have a stake in trying to stay somewhere. Because then I'll say, well, I can tell on you if you don't do this, and your family, and make it difficult for you in this situation that we live in now. So you could see where pressure. So now that person is going out buying property using fraudulent funds that they're taking in from the federal government and distributing them to other people who are Somali immigrants to get them involved. Because of course you can have a little bit of money if I'm getting millions of dollars, right? So I'm going to give you, hey, you do this, I'll give you 5 G's, 3 G's, 2 G's each time. It's not that hard when people come over from another country and they have to have a hard time. Not all have a hard time. Some do, some don't. But you offer people, well, hey, you have a daycare. Let me give you something from our nonprofit because I'm getting money from the government. I'm getting $2 million from the government. How about if I give you 25,000? If you do this, give me some invoices so I can say and show them that I deserve $3 million because I'm going to give you $30,000 this month or whatever. Just giving you examples. But the person running it is a white lady. All right. So again, blame is going to be set on all these other people and her. Go to jail. Okay. but everybody else gets blamed. Now they're using that to disturb everybody in the Somali community in Minnesota and everybody else who's under their reign of terror. Because you don't have to be Somali, you just need to look Latin. And they're stopping you and detaining you and telling you your real ID and your passport and your driver's license is no good and taking you off to concentration camp. They don't care because they get a bounty for everybody they pick up, just like police in 1800s, slave catchers, same thing, different name, DHS, ICE. Being a black guy, it's hard to watch because next they're after me, although they've already been after me, but they're after me next still. So that's the problem. And people don't realize if my rights are violated, they're going to violate yours sooner or later. Otherwise, you better comply. Because once you don't, and once they get enough power, then you don't comply, we may kill you. Or that concentration camp over there in Siberia. Or Alcatraz. Or wherever 3,000 immigrants are missing now, where nobody knows where they are. You could be one of them because not all were immigrants. Some were USA citizens. So again, complying may not be an option for you. People giving up rights for others means they could come after you eventually because you keep giving up, moving the wall closer and closer to you, thinking the other people are on the other side. They'll get them, but they're not going to get me. I'm one of you. Right. But once they get rid of those people, who's next? Now it's the Somalis. First, it was Latinos. Anybody that looks Latin. And people are mixed, so they could say I'm Latin. I mean, because remember, IDs don't matter. USA birth certificates don't matter. They're fake. That's what they're telling them as they haul people off. So be very careful. That's why you need to protect yourself and your family because you never know what's going to happen. And 2026 is going to ramp up even more. You know why? Because we're failing. The United States government is failing its people, its citizens. It's failing the world. The shining country on the hill is failing the world. We have beef with our allies. We have beef with enemies. We got beef all over the place. And people are like those other countries are saying, "C'est la vie, USA." All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you protect yourselves. And with all that said, I'm out. I'm not going to be here until Friday night. So have a safe and happy new year. If you're going to be bringing it in, make sure you be safe because a lot of people do dumb stuff, shooting off pistols in the air, rifles in the air. That stuff sometimes comes down in anywhere USA. And sometimes it hits a human. Humans are not cement. That's all I'm going to say. So be very, very careful out here when you're out here. All right. And with all that said, make sure no matter what you do, keep your head up, keep moving.